Hey everyone, coming at you with a video today on something. It's a little bit of an unlikely tool for gunsmithing and armorers, and kind of a tool set for your consideration, and that would be a blackhead removal tool. So this is a Revlon brand one. It's fairly stiff and strong steel. I'm not quite sure what it is, but it's stainless because it doesn't rust. But notice the eyelets here on each end, they're the perfect size for creating pressure on detent pins, like to remove this detent pin, so the spring and pin in there that holds the detent in place, so that you can replace this or whatever without having to take off your frickin' crown plate, your back plate here, you know, removing all this and having to do that. So it's a good little tool for that. I've used it on some other spots on builds and stuff. I'm just working on this one right now, like with your dust cover removal tool, like the pin set on the inside on this one here or whatever, and it just kind of fits in these spots to be able to put a little bit of pressure on, again, those spring pin assemblies and stuff, to be able to replace components or whatever, because like detent pins will wear out and then they can get real loose. This one's quite stiff, but they can get real loose and pop out, and then you have to go through the whole process of replacing that. You can do that pretty easily with a tool like this, just getting in there, and that spring pin in there that sits back this way, you can depress it with that, and then you can work this pin out, keep that depressed and pocketed in place, and get another pin in. Again, like this side for the small spring and pin assemblies in here, for this, for your safety, for the other detent, you know, and things like that. This is a great tool for that. And then on this side, it's a little bit wider. You could crimp it to narrow it down, and it works for a couple of other things like that on your tool set here. You can also use it to do some adjustments on other things too. You know, it's strong enough for that kind of stuff. But I've used this a couple of times now to replace parts, and then with builds, you know, for people, or, you know, replacement parts on things like that, with service rifles and stuff like that. This tool has actually come in very handy. So something to consider, actually. And it's like, I don't know, $5 at Walgreens or whatever. You just make sure you look at the right brand, because some of them are a lot more, you know, flimsy than others. But this one, it does not rust, so it's stainless, and it's pretty rigid, and it just gives me enough pressure to be able to work with things to, you know, get pins set right and things like that. So something to take into consideration is a tool like that. So just kind of a quick video on that. I've actually, you know, it's one of those ad hoc things. It's something that people don't really think about, but it is the perfect size to be able to bracket and put pressure on like the small pin and spring assemblies for detents and things like that, so you can replace them without having to tear the whole shit apart. So yeah, that's about it here. So alright, take that into consideration for what it is. Share that knowledge. Metal up.